Well, like many of you, when I was a little boy growing up in the Christian church, I heard a lot at church about heaven and hell. I learned about how if you were good, you went to heaven after you died. And if you were bad, you went to hell. But then I also learned there was a third place, a place called purgatory. It was kind of this in-between place. And as a boy in church, we were especially encouraged to pray for all of the little babies who were in purgatory. These were infants who sadly had died before they could be baptized. And then I also learned at church that the world's 1.5 billion Muslims and the world's 1 billion Hindus and all the millions of Buddhists and Jews, they also weren't in heaven because they had never been baptized. So my question for you this morning is that true? As I mentioned at the top of the service, today we're celebrating the baptism of Jesus. So it's a good time for us to look at the meaning of the ritual of baptism. Most of you were baptized, some of you as infants, some of you as adults, but I think most of us really don't understand what happened that day. The church in which I grew up explained that baptism was the washing away of original sin and the way to salvation. So my question then is, why did Jesus need to get baptized at the age of 30? I mean, if he was the Son of God, surely he was without sin. And if baptism is the way to salvation, how come Jesus, the Savior, never baptized anyone? And as for original sin, Jesus never spoke about it because Jesus never heard of it. Original sin was a concept created by the church hundreds of years after Jesus died. They came up with the concept of original sin and the concept of hell as a way of keeping people in fear. And why would they want people to be in fear? So that they could be controlled. I've spoken to you before about Bishop John Shelby Spong. He passed away in 2021 at the age of 90. He was one of the foremost biblical scholars of our day. He devoted his life to studying the Bible. And of the concept of original sin and of hell, Bishop Spong said this: hell is an invention of the church, which is in the control business. If you have heaven as a place of salvation and hell as a place of punishment, then you have control on the population. Jesus never heard of original sin. Original sin is simply wrong, and it's got to go. We do not need a savior. We need love and affirmation that accepts us and empowers us to be all that we were created to be. We do not need salvation, he said. We need love and affirmation. And that is what the ritual of baptism is all about. We are affirming that the person being baptized is loved by God unconditionally. God loves you so much beyond your wildest imagination. If you got baptized this afternoon, God's not going to love you anymore than God loves you right now. You don't have to do anything to earn God's favor or to win God's love, because you already have it. And you don't need to do anything to ensure your place in heaven, because your place in heaven is already assured by an all-loving and all-forgiving God. Our scripture readings today speak to this. Isaiah 43 says, "You are holy and precious in my sight." And in Jesus' baptism, we hear the voice of God say, "This is my beloved, in whom I am well pleased." That's what we're doing at the ritual of baptism. We're affirming God's love for the person being baptized, saying, this person is God's beloved, in whom God is well pleased. Now, you know we have a beautiful baptismal font here at Douglas UCC, and if you've ever been here for one of our baptisms, you know that we do not say that it is the washing away of original sin and the way to heaven and salvation. I mean, come on. It's not like someone comes up here, I sprinkle magic water on their head and say a few magic words, and then boom, they're saved. I mean, rituals and ceremonies are not magic. I mean, think about the wedding ceremony. When a couple comes up here to be married, do I create the love between them? No. The love already exists. What we're doing during that ceremony is we're just coming together to affirm that love. And that's what we're doing in the ritual of baptism, affirming God's love for the person being baptized. Now, we use water in our baptismal font because John the Baptist baptized people with water. But as we heard in our reading today about Jesus' baptism, John the Baptist said, there's someone coming after me that's going to baptize you with fire and the Spirit. And that brings us to today's burning bowl ritual. This is an ancient ritual that many churches around the world participate in during the first month of the year. The burning bowl ritual uses fire. It's light that comes from our Christ candle. And what the burning bowl ritual is a way to release and to let go of all the things that are no longer serving you so that you can begin the new year anew. Again, as Isaiah 43 says, all who are in the light, old things are passed away, and all things are being made new. And so, this morning, my question for you is, what are the things you want to release and let go of for 2023? Maybe you want to get rid of thoughts of worry, fear, anger, resentment, lack, a poor self-image. Those thoughts are not thoughts of your higher self. They're not thoughts of your true self, your Christ self. So on the tissue paper that is in your pews, I'm going to ask you, if you wish, not everyone needs to participate, but if you wish to write on that piece of paper what you want to let go of, and then come up to the burning bowl, ignite it, and drop it. Now, please, when you ignite your paper, drop it quickly. We don't want anyone to burn their fingers. But after you burn your paper, stand before the bowl and silently express your gratitude to God for the transformation and healing that is taking place. For old things are being passed away, and all things are being made new. Let us begin.
Of the things that no longer serve, as I let go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go no longer serve me. As I let you go, I am healed, I am made I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole.
Hello, everybody. This is Sal Sapienza, and I'm so excited to share with all of you that I've written a brand new book. The book is called Childish Thinking: How the Church Keeps Us Stuck in Sunday School. Now, the title Childish Thinking comes from Christian scripture, where we hear that if we wish to grow in spiritual understanding, then we must let go of childish ways of thinking. And yet so many Christians today, even after years of Bible study and Sunday services, still have a very elementary understanding of their faith. They still understand God as some old man with a long gray beard. They think heaven is a place up in the clouds with pearly gates, that the devil is some red guy with horns and a pitchfork, and that hell is a fiery place below the earth. Those are things that we tell children. None of those descriptions appear anywhere in the Bible. And so in Childish Thinking, I try to dispel many of those misnomers, and I explore topics such as God, Jesus, heaven, hell, sin, prayer, and resurrection from the higher perspectives of ancient Christian mystics and contemporary progressive theologians. After each chapter, there are prayers for quiet contemplation and questions for personal reflection and journal writing. Come learn how you can let go of old ways of thinking and begin to see things with new eyes. Come and learn how you can finally graduate from Sunday school. The book is available now on Amazon, and you can read the entire introduction at childishthinking.faith.